Welcome to a new series I'm making called Who Owns That? I'm at Brighton Resort, which is one of the first ski resorts here in Utah. I snowboard, but it was started back in 1936, so 90 years ago. Family from Scotland came and settled this land at the top of Big Cottonwood, and it's named after them. It was actually purchased in 1986 by Boyne Resorts, which is a family-operated business run right now by Stephen Kircher. They started back in Michigan. They own 12 properties across British Columbia to Maine. This is one of their properties. They're one of the largest operators of the ski industry, and they do an amazing job. They actually sold the business, sold Brighton Resort to a REIT, a real estate investment trust called Cena Lifestyle. And at the time, I actually worked for a company that had investors in that and got to come up and have a lunch and learn about what they were doing. And then they sold it, I think this is 2007, and they sold it in 2016, I believe, to a hedge fund, Ziff. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but they had it for a couple years, and then Boyne actually bought it back in 2018 and has owned it ever since to continue to operate it and make improvements. I'm right now on the Millicent lift on the the west side. It's a separate mountain from where the main mountain over there is, where a lot of people will kind of go to Snake Creek, Great Western, and of course the Bunny Hill, and then Crest is the main one. So the reason I like Brighton, why I want to do this series, to tell people about who owns this. I think it's interesting to see what business owners are able to do and how they reinvest in the business to make it better, make more loyal customers. Brighton definitely has a very solid local vibe. Most people that live in Utah are very familiar with Brighton, and if they don't have a season pass here, they come up here regularly for night skiing, or just get up here because the snow is just incredible. Versus the other canyon on this side of the mountain, if you're not in Park City, is Little Cottonwood, where Alta only allows skiers. So this is kind of the better snow if you're trying, especially this year. We have had a dry year, but Brighton has been able to provide a good experience regardless. So I've had a season pass multiple years now. I've got all my kids going. It's a great resort. One of the things that I'm going to do continually as I make these videos and tell you the history of how things are, who owns them, is to talk about what they do to keep good employees, keep good talent. Obviously, this place couldn't operate with good talent, and one of the key things that these people need besides their ski pass and their snowboard pass this year is probably health insurance, right? They want to get paid and they want to have their health insurance covered. All right, I did some research, and it looks like they offer health insurance for their full-time employees. They've got a pretty complete package. They're working with Cigna for the medical and the dental. They also have VSP on the eye insurance, and they've got everything else. They've got Unum for their disability and some of the voluntary life products. So they've got a complete package, especially if they're full-time. Now, I did see in the fine print, if you're seasonal and you've been there for 3 years, you've been working for Boyne for 3 years, you have some access to that additional benefit package, which I think is super cool because they do have quite a high number of seasonal. Now, looking at the 5,500, there's about 1,400 people that were on the health plan out of about 2,200 employees. Obviously, that changes throughout the year as these resorts kind of ramp up and ramp down. They do go through open enrollment, looks like, in the spring. So starting out this month and next month to start June 1, which can be confusing for people when it comes to deductibles, right? Because that's usually on a calendar year, but they start new premiums. And I wasn't able to see how much they're paying for the employee premium. So if you know that, let me know. I'd be curious to see how much they're shipping in for that. But otherwise, it looks like they've got a pretty good offer for those employees that want to be a part of a pretty awesome company, in my mind, that does some cool things to bring a lot of happiness and joy to people and family. If you haven't been to Utah and you're looking to ski, I want to tell you, this is a secret place, and most people from out of town go to Park City, but this is a much better option.